Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Studio 44. Man, am I excited to get on today. I have so much to show you guys. I have stadiums submitted to me for the RDL stadium search. I have a new stadium or two that I found in the vault that I want to show you guys. I have two new creators who asked to show a stadium here in Studio 44. I have a couple of stadiums that were requested to be shown just because they're badass and deserve to be seen on YouTube. I have a brand new stadium of my own. I'm taking on Murph. I'm taking you on, Murph. Let's see if I can do this. And I have two versions of that stadium I asked you guys to tinker with. Tinker's the word I'm going with. We're going to call this the Tinker Challenge. Do you have a stadium you want tinkered with? Leave the name of that stadium in the comments below and see which one of our heavy hitters can get involved with that stadium and see if they can make some changes and have some fun with it. So, like I said, we got a lot to get to, so let's get to it. I figured it's been way too long since we've seen a stadium from Marco 113002, so I decided to bust out Lowe's Field Open. It looks like it was just completed recently. I check his page in the vault every once in a while. What can I say? I love this guy's stuff. Charlotte, North Carolina, built in 2029, so it's coming in the future. 673 feet. Again, it's Lowe's Field Open because he has a closed version of this also using anomalies in the vault. But I like to show the open version just because I think it looks a little nicer when the sun's not blocked. And, I mean, what the picture says 1,000 words. I mean, do you really need me to say anything? Look at all this stuff. He does such a good job of just cramming so much stuff in and making it look really good and, like, naturally blending into each other. Using the anomalies over center field to kind of create a hill, which I really dig. And he's got the San Francisco batter's eye, which I just discovered, by the way. If you guys ever heard of the Depressed Ginger, he has a YouTube channel where he discusses all kinds of stadiums. It's mostly MLB from what I've seen, but I'll see some like football and other sports in there mixed in, but mostly baseball stadiums, and he does some good stuff. He has a lot of updates on like the Rays new park and the A's and the Angels and Diamondbacks and Royals, all those guys who are looking to get new stadiums. It must be just because the algorithm, has me as a stadium guy, so I'm sure you guys are probably running into him too, but maybe you just haven't taken a peek yet. I highly recommend that you do. Depressed Ginger, he's got some good stuff, but I was watching a video of his today, and I noticed this batter's eye is part of San Francisco's. I just found out today, so yeah, he's got this cool little deck out here. I love the little stairs and layering everything so well and just making it so clean. He's got the new anomaly in there with the home run fences. And he also does a lot of stuff like this where he faces off original concession stands and stuff like that. And he's got all these fun little seating sections. Now, how does he do this? Is this all end caps? Yeah, it's all end caps. Kind of create its own walkway and separate the seating. It does give it, a smaller section look. I must say that it makes it really, really cool. And then he's got a Twins anomaly over here. Pretty standard behind and around. Oh, but here's the roof. Marco's got good stuff. That's why, he doesn't request, but he did get in touch with me, and he says I'm free to show his stuff. So I'm so happy to show it for him because they're so good. He's got all kinds of funky stuff going on up here. The clubhouses and wiffle ball fields. Fan decks going into ballpark eats. So many nooks and crannies. So much fun. He's got an overhang over here hanging out with the... What do you think the chances are, guys, in 2024 that this would actually be a home run? Let you overhang some stuff. Wouldn't that be so badass? I like this little section over here, too. Phenomenal. Let's throw the lights on real quick. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, this year especially, I haven't shown too many of his. Like I said earlier, I think he got a late start. Last year, you found a gajillion stadiums, and they were all so good. But this year, I think he kind of got a late start. He only has like 4 pages of stadiums, and they're all so good. I hope we see more of them in 2024. Fingers crossed that the Stadium Creator versions at least gives us new props, right? If there's no major changes with being able to transfer old stadiums from 23 to 24, you can at least give us new props, right? And I'm optimistic for that because they have given us updates. They gave us the one big update in 22, right, in August. And then last year, it started out with a few new props, but then they gave us, 2 or 3 new updates? At least 2. One of them should barely count as an update, though, because it was the stupid monsters. But this is kind of a weird facing, I thought, but it looks cool. And he uses this one building as a pillar, which is smart, I think. Kind of gives it a windowy look without having to use all the windows, you know? I mean, you see through glass anyway, right? So, yeah, this is a great stadium for Marco. I highly recommend that you check him out. If for some reason you're on the 22 version of the game, by all means, check him out. He's got some great stuff in there. So let's move on to another one I found real quick, just looking through the vault. Okay, this is a stadium I found that looks like it could be trying to lure in an expansion team in Nashville and create the Nashville Stars. It's called Nissan Stadium, built in 2022, altitude of 100 feet, obviously Nashville, Tennessee. Now, here's one of the main reasons I don't love showing stadiums that I just found in the vault anymore, because so many people will download a stadium, change the name of it, tinker with a few things, and then re-upload it. So I do my best to try to find the original version of the stadium if I find one that I like. And this was one that I ran into that looked really cool. The earliest version I found of it was by J. Hughes 3969. If you happen to create this stadium or know who did, if I got it right or wrong, please let me know ASAP and I can fix it. But it looks like an awesome little stadium. A lot of red, white, and blue looks in here. You got this funky, blue and red home run fence out here. And I love the quirkiness of this kind of jolting in and down to kind of highlight this star sign. How did he do? Oh, it's the gas pumps. Smart. You guys B99 fans at all? Fucking love that show. Yeah, out in right field, you got this cool fan area with miniature, would you call these luxury seats? I mean, I guess the window's right there, but a lot of it's hidden by this sign, which looks really cool. And you got some laser ribbon up top, MLB Network. Yeah. This kind of thing's become real popular. I see a lot of people separating the rows with a counter or a tabletop or a shelf or something. Yeah, over here it's done too. It definitely gives you a different look than seeing just the same old seats over and over again. So I really like it. And then you got the angled in seating over here with the funky wall. Yeah, I just thought it was a fun little stadium. Stars Park. That's a great shot right there. Oh, look at the bent scoreboard. That's a cool idea. You got a river right over here. Awesome. A lot going on outside of the stadium. Probably to, blend in with the things inside the stadium more than anything else. I don't judge this kind of stuff because, I've said a million times, you don't really see it, when you're playing the game. So to me, it's way more important to, kind of highlight the stuff that's going on inside. And you can see he's got all this stuff, kind of making the inside look cooler. So I get that. And then there's guys like Arch, who always make these fantastic little villages and cities and, stuff outside, and I give credit to that too. Gorgeous. Oh, this is a custom, that's a great idea, using this building as a custom, it's shaped perfectly. You add that row of seats, looks like a broadcast booth or official scores booth. All right, Jay Hughes, I hope this is you. If you did create the stadium and I got it wrong, please let me know as soon as possible. Did I throw the lights on yet? Let's do that. Got a parking lot and then the river outside. Looks great. I like this one. Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I think it makes sense where if I find one online, I should download it, record it, and share it with you guys because it can be so hard to run into good stadiums. One of the users, Al Pickles, I showed his first stadium on this page just last video, and I'm showing one more of his today, and I was going through his page in the vault, and he's downloaded all these great stadiums and re-uploaded them. And I'm like, man, where have all these stadiums been? I have not run into them. So it just shows you how many good stadiums are actually out there that you don't run into because the vault is put together so poorly. So if I find a good stadium, I like to download it and show it to you guys. But, of course, I'm still going to do the requests. I love getting the requests. All right, let's get to some of those requests. Well, we brought him up already. I figured we might as well get right to his stadium that he asked to be shown. This is Al Pickles again. We saw him very recently, and he gives me Jim Price Memorial Park to show you guys. It's in northern Michigan. It's at max altitude, and it was built in 2023. Now, my interest is very, very high in this stadium. Is this like a real park that you created? Or is this, something that you created for a Jim Price, who may be a relative or a friend or someone? I'm very interested because, oh my God, this place is gorgeous. I've never been a big little park kind of guy when it comes to the MLB The Show games because, as you know, I use these for the Ricky Davis League or, playing the RDL All-Stars against the Legends. So I always like big league stadiums. So these stadiums never really interested me. But when they're put together like this and they look so gorgeous, it's like, how do you not fall in love with this thing? So I'm really curious to know, Al, is Jim Price like a family member or a good friend, or is just like a park that you used to play it with as a kid? Or did you just make this up for this game? Any way you look at it, it's gorgeous. This little pond out here with a cherry blossom tree in the middle, a couple scoreboards to kind of, fancy it up. And you got this little courtyard over here with picnic tables and small little bleachers all the way across the stadium. And this river with the little dock is perfect. And the mountain in the background, I just love this place. Very, very shallow, so it looked like it could be like a little league field or like a high school field, 275 down the line, and max altitude. So if you play here, you're gonna hit some bombs. You're gonna be hitting balls into them trees out there. But I love that little planter in front of the river, and you don't see this fencing used very much. It's kind of too fancy for a baseball stadium, and too dangerous too. If you have this anywhere near the field, people are gonna kill themselves. But yeah, it works perfectly for this little railing, over this river or pond or creek, whatever. Oh, I love the stadium. If it's real, let me know. I want to see if there's real pictures of it. And if it's not, then brilliant, creation of a perfect little park to memorialize someone that was close to you. Man. Turning the lights on, it looks great. See, now, growing up as a kid, and as you guys know now, I've mentioned it a couple times, I play in an actual baseball league. Baseball. I'm 45 years old, and I'm running around still playing baseball. I only found it like 3 years ago. I wish I would have found it when I was younger, in my 20s or even 30s. I'm not going to end up playing this season because I am having the knee surgery on April 5th. So that's a bummer, but yeah, but if I could play at places like this in this league, we play at like crappy high schools and city parks and stuff like that. This would be amazing to play at. Al, thanks for sharing this with us, buddy. He has more stadiums he asked us to check out, and I can't wait to show them for you. I did have a question about Bomber Park, though. So if you could let me know in the comment which one you wanted me to see, because I noticed there's a lot of different stadiums with the word bomber or bombers in them. And when I searched just Bomber Park, which you left in the comments, I couldn't find one by Al Pickles. So help me out there, and I'll get Bombers Park showed for you very, very soon. But thank you for this one, and we'll move on. We have another stadium from our good buddy Bo Tiger, Baseball America Stadium. City of ABC, located in USA, max altitude, built in 2022. And man, I love the look of this already. The solar panels catch your eye right away. I'm surprised these aren't used more. I think they're really cool. I've used them a couple times, and I like them. This looks great. Almost like their windows open for a retractable roof. Doesn't necessarily look like a roof, but it still looks really cool. And he's got 2 decks out here with more stairs. I love the tedious. Looks so good. Blended right in with that's a great idea. Right in with these bleachers. Man, it almost fits perfectly. That's a great way to do stairs. And then there's a little umbrella and tables to go along with that section. A little grass area right next to the batter's eye with a little concourse back behind the batter's eye. I always like these where they curl into the fans. Looks good. Looks really good. Concessions lining up the back. Ooh, a nice little pool area in here with the bench. People chilling out in the bench. Oh, this is cool. Making a little exit in the corner. That's awesome. Bo Tiger's got good stuff, man. I've been calling him my favorite Red Sox fan. I should call him one of my favorite Red Sox fans because I have a buddy who I worked with in radio way back in like the late 2000s, 2007, 8, 9. Haven't seen him in a while, but he's an old friend from the radio days. Yeah, it just looks like a ballpark from up here. Looks great lit up. That's a template, right? Is it a template home run fence? I'm not sure. Ooh, this corner looks good too. Yeah, great work, Bo Tiger. Pretty standard around and behind. Well, I guess this isn't very standard, is it? Got the bleachers and another little exit back here with the bathrooms. Love it. And you got some tables above the dugouts. That's cool. Awesome. Yeah, he just sent this one out to me. Great work from Bo Tiger. The Kids Zone. Play some wiffle ball out there. I'm going to make this wiffle ball thing happen. I'm going to. You watch. Just help me find one cheaper place to play inside. Maybe it's not a convention, it doesn't have the turf. Doesn't need turf. Any kind of warehouse or just big building inside that's empty, I'll turn it into wiffle ball. All right, Bo Tiger. Always happy to show your stadiums in here, my friend. Let's move on. Okay, we're going to get into some stadiums that were suggested from new users here in Studio 44. This one comes to us from Wiggy Wan. I would think Wiggy Wan. I don't know. It's Causeway Park in Tampa, Florida. Altitude of 48 feet, built in 2024. He gave me a couple, and I thought I would start with this one because it's very unique looking, but very cool. Very untraditional, but man, super, super creative. You got the scoreboard walk over here with the big signs in front of all the fans. And then you got these 2 upper decks way back here surrounding the scoreboard. And then look at this funky thing. Oh, it's a ray. Look at that. It's a double ray, complete with these eyes for the rays. What did you use to make it's that spotlight, isn't it? Yeah, all right. Fantastic. Yeah, these are the popular ones. There's always a new Oakland. There's always a new Tampa. There's always, these stadiums are terrible, Oakland and Tampa. Get rid of them. Get them out of here. Let's go. Then, of course, you got the Tampa Bay over here, I'm guessing, with the bridge or the causeway, right? Sailboats hanging out here. Catching a glimpse of the game. That is fantastic. That ray is amazing. Wiggy Wan had some great things to say about the channel. He was happy to be a part of the community. And he says he downloaded a bunch of stadiums and he uses them. So that's great. And he said he has some cool concepts, and here they are. He's got a couple more in the chamber that I'll show later on. Oh, I like this, the dark green and then light, then dark, then light. Oh, it goes in with the grass pattern. Look at this. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Well, it's kind of. They're not the same size, so eventually it's going to run out. But, oh, and I like these buildings over here with the bleachers on top of the buildings. I love it. Hiding those little bungalow things, right? Is that what you call those, bungalows? I don't know. Perfect place for a hit it here sign under the lights. Outstanding. Did I turn the lights on yet? There we go. He's got the double ray lit up. I mean, they are still called double rays, right? Or I know they're the Tampa Bay Rays now, but I mean, is the fish called the double ray? Stingrays, double. I don't know. I actually pet one one of our the second cruise we did a thing where you go in the ocean or whatever and you get to pet them. They're pretty cool. Not much going on outside the stadium. One lonely building out. Oh, it's the Hilton. All right. Oh, I like this, how we put this building on top. The circular guy. And the sign up above it, and the scoreboard on it, some palm trees out here, little office trailer thing at construction sites. Scoreboard walk. I dig it. Oh, you got some fancy seating up here, too. All right. Like I said, very unconventional, but very cool. Oh, I didn't even take... Okay, yeah, this goes down. All right, yeah, awesome. This little beach area down here is cool, too, with the sausages and... Yum. All right, Wiggy Wan. We'll get to more of yours in the future. Fantastic work. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for joining. Here we have another new user to Studio 44. Bob from Waco gives us J. Bayless Park, Row England Field, City Fairground, USA, altitude of 1,800 feet, built in 2023. And it's pretty simple, but it looks really good. The scoreboard appears fantastic. Anytime you use this green, I think, is kind of like an ivy for the background. Looks really good. I like the little mini scoreboards up here. Maybe they show like player stats or something like that. Fantastic. And then he's got this building lined up together to create like an entryway to the lower seats here. Then it's kind of hiding that first layer of upper decks too. I like it. Ferris wheel going on in the background. Super cool. Some apartment buildings. Be a great view. Now, I think maybe you could get some up maybe off the laser ribbon or up above the kind of roof here. But it's kind of symmetrical out there in left field and right field. Oh, look at this section. This is fantastic. You got this little... They need another little scoreboard. You guys notice that? You guys agree with me on that? We need a littler scoreboard with a more modern frame. You know how I feel about this stupid old-looking green. But that's like it's such a good size scoreboard. It's expensive too. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but it's pretty expensive memory-wise. But I love this little seating section up here with the hologram thingies, the holo walls, windows. I love that. That's awesome. That looks really good. Pretty standard all the way around, although you kind of have luxury bleachers. Oh, and underneath it's different too. Oh, we're using that same building again. Okay, yeah. And then what's going on? Oh, okay. He hid that lower level again to that kind of split upper deck. All right. That looks really good. Gives me a Japan Stadium vibe. At least the seating behind behind the plate and base paths and stuff like that. Again, it looks like a real ballpark from up here. Very well lit. It looks great. Bob from Waco. Welcome to Studio 44. And thank you for sharing Jay Bayless Field with us. Now, in the comments, he called it Jay Bayless Field at Sony Dome. But if you want to see it in the vault, it's Jay Bayless Park. And I just did a search. I just typed in Jaabae, and it showed up in the vault for me. So thank you so much for sharing. Can't wait to see more from you. If not in the 23 version of the game, hopefully 24. We're going to move right along now into the RDL Stadium search portion of the video. We have Jack Link's Park. This stadium was created for the Dallas Butchers in the RDL. This was given to us by our good buddy Ray Ratliff. It's in Dallas, Texas, altitude of 424 feet, built in 2024. And right off the bat, I would say center field kind of jumps out to you where you have the anomalies stacked on top of each other to create kind of like a little building. Fantastic. I like this little this deck up above it too. That looks great. Perfect scoreboard. Hey, you got the Sewell Shack over here. Dig it. Oh, that's cool underneath. That building serves so many good uses. This little guy right here. It's fairly cheap, too. At least it seems to be memory-wise. Got some trees sticking up. A lot of speakers. Holy crap. You got Jack Link's Park up here in right field. Ooh, a custom bullpen using those umbrellas. Great idea. Burgers, Buddy's M's, and Buddy M's. And Ballpark Eats. Super fun. Pretty standard back here. Old school roof. I love the old school roof. And speaking of roof, I guess I did kind of envision a enclosed roof for Dallas, seeing how Texas had to go through so much trouble to build a new stadium for a stadium that was less than 30 years old, right? Was it less than 30 years old? Yeah, has to be barely less than 30. That ballpark at Arlington is one of my favorite stadiums, but it's just so hot, right? Hey, you got Studio 44 over here. All right, using a couple of those signs blended together. I dig it. Oh, that's awesome. Studio 44 Clubhouse with the out-of-town scoreboard. The Big Show 23 sign. Awesome. Ratliff ribs. Are you a cook, Ray? You make some ribs? Send me some ribs. We have Dinosaur Barbecue out here. Dinosaur Barbecue. We also have Sticky Lips Barbecue and Juke Joint. They play a bunch of jazz and stuff like that. They make some good ribs, too. Rochester, we're a good food town. Not just garbage plates, but we got a lot of good food up here. A lot of good mom and pop restaurants. All right, Ray. We have... I created ACOM Field. I guess I just sort of attached Dallas to that stadium just because it was the first one that popped into my mind. Because the one I built wasn't a retractable roof either. I guess I kind of landed on that stadium being for Dallas, but this one's close. Tell you what, I'll have my brother pick. We'll have him pick. We're definitely going to use, we're going to try to use Eagle Square, Ray. And I'm going to talk to him about the Dreamers. I like the idea of maybe replacing the Dinos. I'm not crazy about, and the Vipers, Dublin Vipers. And we have the Manitoba. I guess they could stay Manitoba Avalanche instead of Alaska Avalanche, like I moved them, but they could be replaced too. The problem is I love that color scheme. Ugh. So, yeah, you can keep these stadiums coming, guys. Like I said, as long as you guys are okay with it. I know some of you guys, got right to it and you jumped on it and you made stadiums for us. Thank you so much. But, life happens. It kind of slowed us down. And now here we are. We blink. And the new game's going to be coming out. But the good news is all those stadiums will transfer so we can still use them. And if you want to, if they get like new props or something for the new game, feel free to add them to your stadiums. Let me know, and we'll use the new versions of those stadiums for the Ricky Davis League. Fantastic. Great. Great little city back here for Dallas. Did I turn the lights on? Let's turn the lights on. I hope I remember to turn the lights on for everybody. I'm sorry if I don't. It's sure not intentional. I just like to show as many as possible. Looks great, Ray. ACOM Field has some competition. All right, thank you so much. Let's move on to another big name in the stadium creator community. This stadium was created for the Hawaii Islanders by our good friend Sewell21. Or at least I thought he was my good friend. Are you ready for this? Dude texted me last night and says, hey, I made a stadium for the Hawaiian Islanders. They look really cool. You know, take a look at them. And then he tells me the name. And I was like, holy hell. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to keep it just to watch you try to say it on YouTube. So here we go, Sewell. This is for you. I'm going to bumble my way through this, but Humunukuwapa's Field? Did I get it? It's in Honolulu, Hawaii, altitude of 16 feet, built in 2024. And apparently that big, huge frickin' word is Hawaiian for triggerfish. I guess you learned something from watching movies like Saving Sarah Marshall. Let me try it one more time. Humunukuwapuasa Field. How was that? Hey, Sewell, I got something right here on my eye, buddy. Just sorry, itching. Okay. Now that we're past the name, let's take a look at the stadium. I like the old school scoreboard in center field. It kind of fits for Hawaii. Something about these remote places, like all these submissions for Alaska and, you know, for Dublin and for Hawaii. For some reason, it just seems like they would have like an old school something. I don't know why. It just seems like it makes sense for a stadium, you know, off the continental U.S. So we got the cool little seating area out here above the batter's eye, which is blended in with the Phillies batter's eye, which makes sense. You got all the green, the palm trees right out into, what would this be, the ocean? I've never been to Hawaii. It's definitely on the to-do list. I mean, can Hawaii be that much different than the Bahamas? I've been to the Bahamas and, you know, the Caribbean and stuff like that. Has anybody been to both? Let me know. Are they very similar, or I don't know. Look at this. This is like a whole freaking custom building. This is all anomalies over here. The new anomaly, or not new, but newly found San Francisco anomaly. And he's got seats coming off right into right field. It's going to be fun to hit balls in there. And see, now this is great. This is, to me, what makes a stadium great. When you don't force the decks, you just kind of create the building, and then you look at where you can make a deck, where you can put a deck in. And he's got the perfect benches with the, you know, the umbrellas and the fences. Oh, they left. Oh, nope, he fell victim. This is so, oh my God, I hope 24 fixes this kind of thing. Because the stadium that I created for the Hollywood Hills, so many things disappeared. So many. And it's clear that these are, you know, supposed to be completed. But for whatever reason, they just decided to, you know, just delete some stuff. I don't understand. It's just mind-boggling to me how so many things could take a step backwards from this thing. I don't know. But back to the stadium. I'm sorry, Sewell. As always, take a look right up here. Whenever I talk about Sewell, I got to mention his channel. He also showcases stadiums, his own creations. He has a Stadiums That Inspire series, which is like this. He shows stadiums that he really likes, and he has such a good presentation, and he has such a good, deep, you know, like announcer voice for Sewell21. Fantastic. So make sure you check him out. I'm going to tease something for him. He told me a good idea that he wanted to try with you guys. Keep your eyes and ears open to his channel. He's got some cool stuff going on. I like the little mini golf out here. This whole little section looks great. The row of palm trees. Gorgeous. You got competition, Murph. So we got some competition. We'll have to show them both the mark and see where we land. This is great. This whole little complex building, I don't know. Really funky. Said he had a lot of memory problems. I think this background will get you. Mountains over. Oh, no, these aren't mountains. But the water can get you. I think a lot of plants and palm trees can get you, too. They can hurt your memory. They can be expensive. I love this walkway. Can you reach that up there? How deep is this over here? 340. Woo! That's a poke. That'd be tough to get up there. The altitude wasn't very high either. I saw another YouTuber say that he thought the altitude played too big a role when it comes to home runs in stadiums. And I think that's the biggest problem that people who aren't huge into stadiums like we are have with Stadium Creator. They like, a lot of the stadiums end up being crappy. They bring the fences in as far as they can for them still to be online playable, and they raise the elevations. I think you need to make elevation less of a factor when it comes to this game. That's why I have to boost mine up. I like hitting home runs. What can I say? I don't make them all the way up in all the stadiums, but I do for most of them. We put them at like 2,000 feet, which is almost halfway. So it makes it a little bit easier to hit more home runs and makes it more fun, I think. This game can be tough to hit sometimes. Turn the lights on. Sewell has done it again. Gorgeous, gorgeous stadium. All right, Sewell, thanks, buddy. Now, are you going to change the name now that I've tried to say it twice? All right, thanks a lot. Let's move on to the stadium that I asked you guys to tinker with. He kept the name the same. This is New Orleans Demons. Nothing. Just New Orleans Demons. That's what I named it. City of New Orleans, Louisiana. Again, I just threw it at the first team that came to my mind. This is before Murph threw New Orleans Stadium at me. So this has an altitude 2,500 feet. Like I said, that's where I usually like to keep them. Built in 2024. Now, showcased this in a couple videos ago, right? And asked you guys to tinker with it. I had one from Sandman Dan and one from Murph. They said that memory was a huge issue. I know I maxed it out, and it doesn't seem like I did. I didn't even light the field up yet, and the thing was like almost maxed out. And he came up, Sandman Dan, he came up with such a brilliant solution because I really liked the idea of those windows, and I really liked the idea of using that prop and having those stands down there. And he made the simplest change, and man, did it make all the difference in the world. All he did was I had this up here pushed back, and all he did was kind of overhang it and sink that window back a little bit. And I think it makes a world of difference. It looks so much better. He lowered the fence over here and added this scoreboard on top. Did he add this one? I think so, yeah. And then we have the little section under here. Did he add those plants? I think so. And he added a parking lot across the street. I think that was a great idea. And he's got some utility vehicles back here. Army vehicles, right? Look at that thing, man. That belongs in frickin' Metal Gear Solid, not in this game. Kept the mountains. Over here and left, this all looks the same. Underneath, I think maybe he turned this a little bit. And again, he did the same thing over here. He kind of pulled this forward or pushed these seats back, and just to kind of give it a little bit overhang, kind of like a facing or a fronting, and it just looks so much better. Such a good idea, Dan. Again, sometimes it takes an extra pair of eyes, I like the idea of the hill, and again, this came from him originally anyway. He had, I can't remember which stadium it was, but like there was luxury seating, and then there was like a ramp that went up above it onto a grassy area, and it reminded me of the renderings for the Oakland stadiums at the Howard Terminal that was supposed to happen. That doesn't look like it's going to happen anymore, but I put these buildings underneath, and I think he said he pushed them back a little bit and then added the statues, and that's pretty cool. Oh, and then he closed this off with a concession stand back here and threw in a picnic table. So, yeah, if you want to take a crack at this, memory is an issue. What did he do back here? Ooh, I like this. I think he took out maybe a row of... Yeah, he took out a bunch of seating, which maybe saved him some memory. Oh, and look, he added this. Oh, that's awesome. How is this in half like that? Oh, it's because the wall goes... It slants. It slants. So that play ball sign's hidden. Half of it's hidden. That looks really cool. Same thing with this guy. Awesome. He snuck this building in here on top of like this little concourse area back here. All right. Yeah, I think he did this to kind of save some memory. I think he added these too, the luxury seats. All right, Dan. Great work. And he threw some lights up. Thank you. All right, so that's one version of the stadium. Pretty subtle changes, but, man, they made a world of difference. So that's fun. What do you think, I mean, I don't remember if you remember the old version. I mean, I guess I could have split the screen, to kind of show you the similarities and differences. But, he also did the anomaly outline. And up here, I think that looks really good especially. And lining up this weird fence. I put the fence there because it had the triangle, of the hill. I probably could have threw another one of these up here or something to hide it. I don't know. But you're going to see a lot of hills in my next stadium, trust me. It's kind of my thing. It's like a Studio 44, Phil Sherman specialty, the hills. So, all right, Dan, thank you so much. We have another version of the stadium. This one comes to us from Murph075. Okay, this is the New Orleans Demons Murph remix. New Orleans, Louisiana, 2,500 feet, blah, 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 blah. And here's what he did with it. This is the most noticeable thing. This is like a parking garage, right? And then he threw that concession stand in that I like to use as like a luxury suite with no seats on the outside. Looks really good. Threw a concession stand down here. He kept this window section in. And then you got this awesome deck way above it, leading to this row of bleachers. Amazing. Amazing. Oh, look, he's got all these people up here on the hotel deck. Dude, do you have like some kind of cheat code that gives you extra memory or something? What the hell? How? How did you have all the memory? Still put all the lights in and the parking lot back here and all these mountains and stuff? Am I missing something? How? And then over here, he kind of buried that section a little bit more, sent it more under the road and named it the Home Run Cave, which I like. He left the wall really super high and kind of faced off these windows a little bit better. And then he added another hill over here and right to close off that area, and he made the road wind back in here. Oh, plummet to your death. And then he added all these buildings up here, very Hollywood Hills-ish. I mean, are there even any mountains in Louisiana? Isn't it like swampy? So, I mean, again, like I said, I didn't build this necessarily for New Orleans. It's just the team that snuck in my head. And he added some plants and some trees all over the place. Excellent work. Yeah, I knew if I threw this out here, someone would make it fantastic. Oh, this scoreboard's perfect in there. Look at that. Again, who knows how many deaths we're going to cause. Oh, and this road curls around back here, too. That again. So fun. This leads to another idea. What if we were to have, like, have you ever heard of the password game? What if we were to, like, build portions at a time and then, like, hand them off to someone else? That could be fun. What do you think about that? And then when it's all done, we'll show it. It'll be like one big community. Maybe we can do that as like the final stadium we create for the 23 version of the game. But that looks great. Look at it from up above. Yeah, there's things I like about both stadiums. I love the little escalator and stuff. All this section over here that Dan did was amazing. Oh, and he kind of created a new door for me. I mean, let's face it, I was basically copying his idea with this anyway. I think he moved this up. Am I right about that? He moved that up a little bit. Looks like he added some bushes in here. I think I did this, right? Didn't I line this up? Maybe not all the way across. But he did get rid of the field level seating in here. Now it's all bleachers and then this little space over here. But yeah, really good. Really, really, really good. So yeah, this is New Orleans Demons. I think I just named the stadium in my page of the vault. If you want to take a crack at it, if you want to see what you come up with. Again, I know memory was an issue. I don't know what I used that was so expensive that put me in such a hole, but Dan and Murph sure worked their way around it and made it look really good. Rocky's Diner and Gas. I mean, you know he's going to have a name something out here. You got the gas stop, otherwise known as the team store. Perfect. So good. So good. All right. Well, since we are on a Murph Stadium, might as well move on to a stadium that is supposed to challenge a Murph Stadium. Was it the last video, the last Extravaganza video, where I showed you a stadium he made for the Hollywood Superstars? I created my own that I guess kind of turned in to a Hollywood Superstar stadium. Let's see what you guys think of it. Okay, this one I named Last One, just because I kind of have a feeling it's going to be the last stadium I make for the MLB The Show 23 game. The X is supposed to be a question mark. City, USA, altitude 2,500 feet, built in 224. Now, originally I was just kind of rolling with it, and then I kind of liked it enough where I'm like, all right, I think I can make this bougie enough to be a Hollywood Superstar stadium. I wanted to do the anomaly in center field using the Minnesota Twins backdrop because I've always wanted to use it, but like I've said, the space kind of killed it. You couldn't put anything near it, and it created that dead space. So using it as an anomaly over the dinosaur thing, I was able to build around it and connect all these decks that connect to it. And then the stairs go down and create the new deck that run right into it. And then it goes across to the other side where you have some tables along the wall here. And then I use the cola as kind of like a tin roof for the home run fence in there. I've been using the grass a lot. I figured I'd mix it up a little bit, just do something different. Of course, I'm using the facing a lot. Maybe I'm doing it too much now, but have you guys ever seen Superman 3? This building has that slope on it. So I figured it made great use, just to kind of give me an outline to put the hills on. Because, I like making my hills, and I like having them on top of buildings, but it can be frustrating because it's not steep enough. So you kind of have to bunch the two together. But using this slope as an outline, I thought it would be a cool idea to put them on top of these buildings. And I faced them off with the white a la Marco and Murph and all those guys who do that. I guess I'll zoom out since I'm up here already. But here's what she looks like from the sky. Right field is totally different from what I originally imagined it being, but this right here is just made from a bunch of these curved around. So that slope keeps coming up, creating this big hill area. And, of course, it'd be nice if I could throw some stands out there. I mean, I have enough memory. I'm only at 83%. I could probably put some bleachers in there, but I'm never crazy about how that looked. But anyway, this is the part that always gets me. They just delete shit out of my stadium. See these guys floating? They're supposed to be on layers of this concourse. Like that. But they just keep deleting on me every time I get rid of this, or every time I save it and re-upload it. they delete stuff. And it's even worse on the other side. Wait till you see what they do on the other side. I put that in fast forward so you guys didn't have to watch me build all that. But yeah, this is another situation where I kind of wanted to have a little triangle deck sticking out from this window out here. I think it's kind of cool that you can see inside and you see little buildings. So I kind of figured it looked like a little luxury suite. So why not have some picnic tables and stuff out here? This had some dead space, so I just threw an anomaly in here. Pretty standard around and behind. And then over in left field where we have some tedious work that they just decided to delete on me. If you remember the first park I made for the Hollywood Superstars in the last version of the game, everybody had their own pool. I didn't make everybody their own pool this game, but I put the Walk of Fame. Now I'll fast forward again, but here's the little stars I had made. I kind of recreated them from what I did the last time. But we have Guillermo Vasquez, Tony Johnson, their catcher, Brody McGregor, Sean Warner, and then back here is Rob Thompson. See, they deleted like 2 parts of every single freaking star. What the hell? Every time I re-upload, it's gone. So that's really frustrating, but yeah, this is all stemming off just, I knew I wanted my starting point to be the anomaly, and it all stemmed off from the different levels. Like under here, you can go under, and back in here. And then I loved how the stairs just kind of naturally, because of the anomaly, kind of connect these 2 decks. So I thought that looked really cool. And I just threw this little concession stand in here. I don't know if that's the best one to go there, but that's the one I'm rolling with for now. And I messed that up when I lift that up before. But, yeah, I'm not crazy about the scoreboard, but, I mean, it kind of fit. Had to customize the escalator to fit up here. I was really happy with this. Trying to dial it out and, use the 2 different kinds of the marble and the stone. And then, using, it was easy to hide the slide back here, just a little bit sticking out. I liked having this pool instead of using the water that they give you as like a river or whatever, because it's so dark and murky looking. This looks nice and clean and fancy, like at a water park or something. And then up here you got some bleachers, and then above that some kind of custom luxury seating using the airport terminal thing. That was put there kind of to disguise, what was going on the outside. It kind of was a mess back here. And then I just use it to connect it to a parking garage. But I like all these little winding hills, I could see people hanging out up here. Again, very Howard Terminal, I was pretty happy with the way it turned out. What do you think? Do you think this could be a Hollywood? Do you think it's bougie enough? Little, little green with all the, maybe I need to put more plants or some trees up here. I could do that still. I got room in the memory, but again, you start running into plants, you're going to run into more. But I've tried to finish this up last night so I could show it today, because I knew I had so much stuff to show you guys. So, yeah, that's it. What do you guys think? So now I'm going to leave this up to Mark, see if he likes this one or Murph's version of the Hollywood Stadium. But I knew I had to take a crack at some of the higher, profile teams. I made Chicago. I made Brooklyn. I'm definitely keeping those. You know what? This is the last new park. I want to recreate maybe the Denver one that I did to tackle Arch and Murph. They both have a stadium in Denver for me. And I want to recreate Monsters Park. I really like Monsters Park. I didn't recreate that one yet, but I think I should be able to pull that off pretty simple. Ugh, there is the tedious solar panels, though. So, all right, that's what I have for you. If you want a stadium showcased right here in Studio 44, you know the drill. But in case you're new to the channel, all you have to do is shoot on down to the comments below, leave the name of the stadium and your gamer tag. Right in those comments, let me know a little bit about the park, any background information you want me to include while I'm showcasing the stadium for you, and I'll get to that as soon as possible. We're still accepting stadiums for the Ricky Davis League search. Keep your eyes and ears open. for Sewell's channel. He's got a great idea coming up. I have the Tinker idea, and I have the ballpark or the password idea. What do you think of those? Now, speaking of ideas, right now, I am officially going to ask anyone who wants to participate in the Stadium of the Year contest. Give me, in the comments below, your top 3 stadiums. The 3 stadiums you think are your best that you made in this version of the game. I will showcase a bunch of them real quick. And then in the community post, I'll have everybody vote on your favorite stadium. Once we get everybody's favorite stadium determined, we'll make some kind of bracket or just kind of whittle it down until we have everyone vote for what they think the best stadium of the 23 version of the game is. So start thinking about that. Which stadiums do you want submitted? Are you already working on one that's not finished yet that you think could be your best? Let me know ASAP, because this contest might run into the new version of the game, and that's okay. But get those stadiums submitted to me ASAP. I'll showcase them again real quick. And like I said, we can do that easy community vote where it's all unanimous, so no one's going to get, their feelings hurt, or no one's going to say, hey, why did you vote for that stadium and not this stadium? No one knows who votes for what. And then we'll whittle it down to see who has the best stadium of the year. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to throw a like. Please feel free to subscribe. I'm almost halfway to my first goal. I'd really love to get to 500 subscribers. So help me out there, would you? It would mean the world to me if I could get up to 500. And I'm almost halfway there. So please, if you like the video, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications so you know when those premieres. If you haven't attended a premiere yet, you really should. We have so much fun just shooting the shit in those chats. We usually have about, 8 to 10 guys watching at a time, and then like 3 or 4 guys chatting with each other, talking stadiums, talking videos. We have so much fun. So please feel free to join us. Please check out Respect the Pick, the podcast from my brother and my nephew. I am going to have the knee surgery. I think I mentioned that already, April 5th. So I am going to have some downtime. I'm going to go through. I'm going to get a bunch of clips thrown together of Respect the Pick. Hopefully give you a little bit of taste of it that I can throw on the end of a couple of these videos. See if it's something that you guys are into. To anybody who's ever answered a poll about Respect the Pick or about my stadiums or about my RDL teams, thank you. I can't express enough how mind-boggling it is to think that something that my brother and I kind of created, our entire lives and thought that no one knew anything about would get even this big and this much attention. I just get such a kick out of it. You guys have contributed so much to it that it is getting, even to this point. So thank you again so much. Thank you for liking and subscribing if you're new to the channel, and thank you for checking out my next video coming soon.